what I want to do is head back to some of the more formative times in your life, and two of the ones that I can see seem like they're the year, your situation surrounding Hartford,
yes,
and then the time that you spent coaching some high school football. So I kind of wanted to start with the whole Hartford thing. Talk a little bit about how you kept your commitment to go play for Hartford.
Yeah. So I had, signed with that team and made that decision to go to the UFL. And the day out, really the night before, a player got injured on a team. And so the day I was leaving, a team called. And so I flew to Hartford and landed and was going back and forth with my agent. And as we talked through it, I didn't have peace about breaking that commitment. And that's the best way I can describe it. There was just something in me that I didn't feel like was right, and I just felt like, I gotta honor this commitment I made. I had gotten there to the team. I was about to start training camp, and so I just felt like that was what I was supposed to do. And I didn't really. It was more than anything. Just I didn't want to, leave an example for my kids of just, hey, as soon as something better comes along, break that commitment and jump onto that. So it was not easy. There were obviously several times along that season where I questioned, was that the right thing to do? What was I thinking? All those things. But in the end, looking back, I'm thankful that I did it, because I grew a lot as a man through that situation, and I learned a lot from that, and so it certainly has impacted who I am today.
And what are some of the stories? What's it like to be playing for Hartford?
Yeah, it was fun because you're dealing with a bunch of guys that love football, mm-hmm. and that was certainly the case, and the coaches included that are obviously the pay scale, all those things are different in that league, and so to be in that situation, those are guys who want to continue playing, who love playing the game, and who want to continue coaching and keeping their self sharp, and so I was very thankful to have that opportunity, and we'll always remember those guys and those coaches, and got a chance to work with some good people. Former Browns head coach Chris Palmer was our head coach, and Dave Ragone was one of the coaches as well, and so just made some good relationships there. So it was a fun atmosphere, because it was a little bit less of a business as maybe it is here, because like I said, everybody there they were just in it for the love of it, and so it kind of gives you a renewed appreciation for the game.
I saw somewhere an anecdote where you're saying, you go in to talk to the equipment guy and you say you need a new pair of shorts. What happens at that point?
They direct you to like a Dick's Sporting Goods or an Academy or something like that, So that's when it was like, wait a minute, I'm in a different place. But again, it makes you appreciate the opportunities that we have here, and to realize what an honor and a privilege it is to get to play in the NFL. And so if anything, that was one of the main takeaways for me, is just the appreciation for what the league does for us, and how they treat us, and the opportunities that we have every day when we come to work.
You feel like everybody in the NFL should go spend a year doing something like that?
I would say this: if you knew it was going to turn out like this, and you were going to get back to the NFL, then I think absolutely it's good for you. It's good, it'd be great for anybody to experience that. Mm-hmm. At least, I'm speaking from my own perspective, and just what it did for me, and the way I felt about the game, the way I felt generally about life in general. I think if you could go through something like that, and people do it all the time. If people that go through setbacks or things that are different than what their expectations were when they set out in their careers, and so to me, I think the main thing is just to embrace that setback, and allow that to grow you as you continue on your journey.
And the Bears went to the NFC Championship game that year.
Yeah, that was hard, because that was the team that called, and so so it was hard watching that game that year, and Todd Collins ended up starting that game, and so in a lot of respects, you kind of think, man, that could have been me. But again, I believed, what I did was what I was supposed to be doing, and I trusted that. And the irony is that I get back in the league, a year or so later, and it's the Bears that I go back with. So I was thankful to Lovey and the opportunity that they gave me.
Talk a little bit about your opportunity to go and coach some high school football and what impact that had on you.
Oh, it was a blast. To get back to that level and to be around some guys like that. I think, for me, it was just a real, they say, I'm coming into the situation, as an NFL player and coming in, and you think you're the one that's going to be giving the kids all of this, but at the end of the day, you get more out of them because you watch how they come to practice and they have so much fun, and you realize too very quickly that they get over the NFL part, and it just more than anything just reminded me of how impactful high school coaches can be, and because they get over the NFL part, but asking a young man how his day was and how he did on a test and those things, they matter, and they make a difference, and taking just a genuine interest in those kids, it just, to me, our high school coaches are some of the most important people in our country, and teachers in general, and so thankful for the job that they do, and it gave me a great perspective doing that.
And how did that, when you came back to playing, how were you a different player or a different student of the game when you came back to the other side of it?
Well, because I think anything in life, when you're trying to master something or improve at something, your best bet is to give it away. I think that's the last step of that process of really cementing something that you're trying to learn. And so, for me, doing that, coaching high school ball, and specifically coaching quarterbacks, I think there was a lot of things that had been taught through my career that I think really cemented in my mind how they were supposed to be done when I was, especially fundamentally, when I was coaching high school quarterbacks. So I was really appreciative of that part, because I realized it more coming back, because at the end of the day, when you're coaching, you stop at the stripes and they go out there and they play, and so you have to make sure that they know it as well as possible, and so your preparation changes, and because you have to know it really well and able to communicate it in a way that they'll know it as well as possible. So I think I took that approach of preparation when I got back into the league, as I'm going to know it well enough that I could teach it, and I think that's what allowed me to play some of my best football coming back in.
When you look at your 2013 season, how did all those experiences and everything that you had been to at that point lead you to be able to do what you did that year?
Well, I think just because I had kind of been through it all, and so I just took the approach when I was stepping on the field that you never know, this may be the last time that you play, and so to leave it all out there, and then really in that season in a backup role of just going, serve your team the best way you can. Your job is the backup, and so now you've been called into duty. So go out and just do what they're asking you to do, and don't do too much, and just play within the system. And so that was really the things that gave me peace as I was playing that year, and so I think, having gone through what I went through and the ups and downs, it was easy for me to get to that place because I had been out. It was easy for me to see those games that way, of just going, go have fun, play within the system, don't do too much, and leave it all out there, because you never know, it might be your last one.
Was last year the most challenging year of your career, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. It was tough. It was tough just because from battling injury to just the lack of success, to losing a coordinator, all those things. It was tough. It was tough from the sense that going back to coming out of the UFL and Lovey giving me a shot, and so following him down there to Tampa, and he and I have a great relationship, and there's a lot of hurt not getting that done for him, and so going through what we went through, I learned a ton though. the things that we did, the commitment that we had to our preparation. There was never a moment, especially in the quarterback room with Marcus Arroyo, our quarterback coach, and Mike Glennon and those guys. There was never a moment where we said, you know what, hey, we're out of it, or hey, this is our record. You know, let's just mail it in. Week in and week out, all the way to week 17, we prepared, we grinded, we were ready to roll, and so I'm thankful for that. Our record doesn't reflect it, and it's you know, we were bummed and frustrated and all those things, but I'm thankful that through that time we kept coming back and kept getting back up and coming to work. And so it may not have showed right there, but I think you know, in the bigger picture, there's something deep down that you get out of that, and hopefully it'll manifest itself later. I think one thing that I learned last year, you know, albeit the situation was what it was, is that I maybe try to do too much, not just during the week, but on Sundays as well, and so I feel like coming back into an environment like this, especially with the defense that we have, my focus can be on you know, playing the position, being smart with the football, and just go back to helping our team win the football game, no matter, you know, what's called for. And so not getting too far outside of myself, and so I think some of that, you know, you lose a coordinator and things like that happened last year, and so all of a sudden you think you have to win every game with one big throw or whatever, and so I think, you know, going through what I went through last year, it helps bring me back to where I'm at now, and just the peace of mind that I have, that I can go out and just execute the game plan that Flip's putting forth, and know that it gives us a chance to win.
And you know, in Tampa, it seemed like you were